Feeling uncertain by life's challenges? At InTouch.org, you'll discover encouragement that lasts. With powerful sermons from InTouch Ministries' Dr. Charles Stanley, daily devotionals, and resources designed to strengthen your faith, you'll find hope and wisdom for every season of your life. Don't wait. Visit InTouch.org today and let God's Word inspire your journey. That's InTouch.org.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Attack the Baseline, a WNBA podcast where every episode we attack our baseline knowledge of the WNBA. We're your hosts, John and Kristen Barber, and we're back because the league is back. The 2026 season is underway. We've had a weekend's worth of basketball to discuss as we are recording this on the first off day of the season on a Monday, May 11th. We've got 11 games to briefly talk about in the next hour or so. But before we get into all of it, Kristen, how are you today?
I'm incredible from watching all the WNBA games this past weekend.
Mm-hmm. A lot of work to do to watch them all.
It was a lot of games. It was a lot to get through, but, we had to watch some on the replays. Mm-hmm. We had to watch one or two 10-minute recaps. Don't come for us.
We're humans.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been a lot to watch all 2-hour games.
And we couldn't even get the Sparks Aces game that was on USA. So that's annoying.
Yes, very annoying.
Other than that, that gives me energy. But also I am stressed this week. I have my big gala at work. So that is very stressful. But we're ignoring that.
Yes, this is a non-stress space. This is a W space. We're going to have plenty of fun things to talk about because it was a good opening weekend of basketball. We saw a lot of competitive basketball, kind of proof that the league is really competitive top to bottom. Every team on a night-to-night basis could compete, and that's very, very exciting and what you want to see from the product, especially after that huge CBA negotiation. So we're going to talk about it all, but before we do, if you'd like to send us an email, you can do so, of course, at our email, attackthebaseline@gmail.com. Connect with us on Bluesky, Instagram, TikTok at ATBPod. Leave us a 5-star rating and review on whatever platform it is that you listen to the show. Subscribe to YouTube. And, of course, tell your friends and family about the show because the season's underway and you want to get them involved so you can talk to them about the W and about how much ball knowledge you have and help them learn ball too. Okay, Kristen, we've got 11 games. We've got 11 takeaways. We're going to do one takeaway from each game. It might be specific to one team. It might be specific to both teams. It may just be specific to the league as an entirety. But let's start. At the top, Connecticut at New York. The New York Liberty are insanely deep.
Yeah. So they have 3 major players out right now.
Starters.
Sabrina and Satu being starters. Rebecca Allen.
Phoebish.
Oh, sure. Phoebish. Right. She's not on my little box score right now. Yeah, she's not here. So 3 starters not here for various reasons. And then Rebecca Allen also was out this game, who would have been a solid bench piece, you imagine.
Right.
But still, they score 106 points. They signed 2 hardship contracts due to these injuries. One of them being Julie Von Lowe, who played 22 minutes off the bench, had a double-double.
Welcome back, JVL.
Like, she always has something to prove when she gets cut. But, like, this was a really good game for her.
Yeah.
And it's like every player that played had a good game. And, like, eventually these are pieces that will be deep down in the bench, like Astier. Benijah had a great game. Rebecca Gardner, who will be further down, she had 9 points. Like, even the deepest of their bench is playing super well.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
Yeah. To get legitimate contributions from Maureen Johannes, who man, she is like the perfect fill-in point guard when Sab is out. She's going to be so perfect in the rotation. Han Shu back in New York, contributing, shooting threes, being a legitimate backup big for this team.
That was crazy that she's shooting threes. I'm like, if she can shoot threes, you have a serious problem.
Yeah. Well, and I think that the hardship contract speaks to they're not messing around. They want to make sure that they have a team full of players that are ready to go, especially because they're short on their top end talent, and they're still able to post 100 plus, even if it's on Connecticut, who, they've proven to be competitive this weekend.
No, Maureen Johannes had an incredible weekend, as is being discussed. I mean, she just scored so many points, played super well. I am going to feel bad for her when she's going to have to come off the bench.
Yeah, well.
When Sabrina and Phoebish are back. That just kind of sucks. Like, she's an amazing starter.
Yeah, but they'll figure out a way to play her and Sab together, I'm sure. She's going to get good time.
Yeah.
I think she's going to get
good time. Well, I hope so.
I hope so too. But you and I had New York at the top, and this proves that, like, yeah, they're pretty much in the contender circle.
Yeah.
Our next takeaway comes from Washington visiting Toronto. Kiki Iriafen and Shakira Austin are going to be double-double machines this season.
Yes, Shakira and Kiki both had double-doubles in both their games this weekend. Completely dominant performances by both of them. They have not missed a step. They pass to each other. They play off of each other super well. My part two of this, it's kind of three-part observation.
Yeah.
With that backbone. That is, they are so good.
Yes.
My part two is, so they need the shooters to be better.
Yes. We talked about this in the preview. We don't think they have enough three-point shooting, and that was kind of proven a little bit this weekend when they only made 5 threes in both games.
Yeah. Sony had a super good game, one of the games. A not great game, shooting-wise, the second game. So we were like, oh, Sony's back.
Not quite.
Maybe not.
Let's pause.
So Sony is figuring it out.
Yes.
We're hoping that she gets back into her rhythm.
Yeah.
So I need to see more from Georgia, Kassan Prosper, Lucy Olsen.
Yeah. Angela Duglich.
Yeah.
But I will say, despite only making 5 threes, they attempted 26 in game 1, 24 in game 2, or the other way around. A decent amount of shots. They have to be putting up threes. I said as much in our preview that is going to be what takes them to the next level, and what we were critical about when they didn't add that in the draft. Now they have the solid backbone in the paint between Kiki and Shakira, which is why that was our main observation. And of course you have Lauren there, who's going to continue to learn from both of these women. But we are still going to remain focused on the shooting and seeing when we can actually say that Sony's back, because I don't think we can quite say that she's back. And nobody else has proven, oh yeah, I'm going to be the lethal 3-point shooter that this team needs.
Right off the bat, I have not seen that from them. But then my part 3 of this observation is, because we have these 2 incredibly good bigs, where do these bench bigs fall into this?
Yes. Yeah.
Lauren Betts had 0 points in this game against Toronto.
Yep.
She played 12 minutes. She had 5 rebounds. That's all right. I just feel like Shakira and Kiki are going to be taking up so many minutes because they're so good, and they should be, that these bigs that were drafted are not going to get much time.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's going to be on the coach, Sydney Johnson, to figure that one out. They are 1-1 after the opening weekend, and we'll talk about it later, but they went into overtime against New York. So they're certainly capable of challenging even the top teams in the league, but there are plenty of growing pains that I think are going to need to be figured out with this young club. Our third observation, as Golden State visits the Seattle Storm, the Seattle Storm offense is electric.
For sure. The pieces that they added this year have been electric right off the bat. Jade Melvin, you cannot deny her absolute aura.
Come on. The aura was there. It was coming through the screen.
She is literally putting her body through the ringer in these first 2 games. She loses half a tooth in the first game. The second game, she's cut up, bleeding from the mouth, and from her chest is scratched. I'm
Crazy.
like, girl, okay.
Yeah, what did I say? I think I said she was like a psycho, but in a good way.
Yes.
Like a quality psycho.
And then Flaugier has been totally electric right off the bat.
Yes, immediate impact player. The shot was there for Flaugier this weekend. That looked pretty real. The attacking, the pace that she was pushing. I really think, I said as much on opening night, that Sonia Rahman, her whatever offense, her play style that she's bringing to Seattle, I think these young players are really responding to it. I think Dominique wasn't great in the second game, but in this game, Dominique was really good. Mm-hmm. And, that you have a young player base that you want to respond to a new coach. I thought the level of energy that the team brought in both games this weekend proved that we're going to have a lot of exciting times watching the Seattle Storm this season.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I do also think the rebounding problem that the Storm have had should not be as big of a problem this year. Great for them. Dominique has been good in that sense already.
Yes.
And it wasn't in this game, but it was in the second game Seattle played. Lexi Brown was 5 of 6 from 3 and made them like back to back to back.
Could not miss.
She was super hot.
Yeah. And there's a lot of negative Lexi Brown discourse, but she has, had her struggles since we started the show. And for her to have that moment in the second game of the year is awesome for Seattle. The last thing I'll point out about Seattle before we move on is that I looked at the opening strength of schedule for these teams through the first 11 games, and Seattle actually has the second easiest schedule to start the season. So we could be surprised after 10 or so games that Seattle is like playing sneaky well. They challenged Golden State in this game, and Golden State is 2-0, and Seattle got themselves a win this weekend too. So I think they're going to be competitive. I think they're going to be high energy, and I think they're going to be a blast to watch this season. Mm-hmm. Our fourth takeaway, as Dallas visits Indiana, give me a full playoff series between these Wings and this Fever team. Come on.
That would be awesome.
I want it so bad. Mm-hmm. The first time in a season opener that both teams scored over 100 points, it was down to the wire, 107-104 win for Dallas in Indiana. To go in there and make you set the flag, start the rivalry. Mm-hmm. Like if I got 5 games of this, if I got a 7-game final, which would be really, really difficult. I don't see that configuration, but like this could be a first round matchup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think this is can be an actually good rivalry.
Yeah.
Compared to like when we're forcing Indiana and Chicago to be a rivalry the past 2 years.
Yeah.
When that was just obviously Indiana's so much better. Mm-hmm. But now this can be like an actually good rivalry between these two young budding teams. Mm-hmm. As long as we're not making it gross and weird.
Yeah, don't make it weird.
This could be amazing.
4 first round picks. The last 4 first round picks played in this game.
That's crazy.
An insane statistic.
Yeah.
That should be proof enough that like, man, this would be so insane if we got back-to-back games between these two teams. I don't know who I would pick. Mm-hmm. Just because Dallas won, Indiana sure showed that that they're capable of beating Dallas. They can score. Mm-hmm. This was felt like another tier above the first couple games that we saw to open the weekend.
For sure.
It's like, oh, dang, these teams are both really going for it.
Yeah. And like they both were incredibly good at scoring in this game, incredibly efficient.
And they're going to figure out the defense. Both of them.
I don't think their defense was bad necessarily.
No, it wasn't terrible.
I don't think either defense was poor. It's just the offense was great.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is before Dallas figures out the AZ situation. Because AZ didn't play a ton in this game. Or she played, 18 minutes or something, but only attempted 2 or 3 shots.
Yeah. Well, she may be injured.
Off the bench.
She's
True.
probable
For game
Tuesday.
2. Yep.
So AZ may be dealing with something, which is fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Don't put so much pressure on AZ. The coach made a statement today. Like, I guess someone asked him, is AZ going to be a starter? And he was like, eventually, yeah, she'll be ready to be a starter.
She'll get there.
But Odyssey Sims was so good in this game. So I don't mind at all.
Yes,
like
Odyssey
she
Sims
was
is awesome.
Such a pest in this game. So adding her, like a perfect move.
Yeah. Yeah. A veteran guard who is not afraid to slot in to a starting rotation. That was a great get by them and a sneaky get. Yeah. I mean, come on. And what's cool about both of these rosters is I feel like there's not a lot missing, not a lot of unknowns from what we saw in that first game. Like we know basically 11 or 12 of their players on both teams. So they're not like missing players or, missing important players internationally or missing important players to injury. Like this is who these teams are. And now these coaches, Coach White and Coach Fernandez are going to figure out, okay, how do I get the better of the other team next time we play one another? And I just think that this will be a great, season series to watch and hopefully a great playoff series to watch.
Life is full of challenges, but you don't have to face them alone. At intouch.org, you'll find powerful sermons from Dr. Charles Stanley, daily devotionals, and resources designed to strengthen your faith and bring hope into your everyday life. Whether you're searching for encouragement, biblical wisdom, or practical guidance, intouch.org is here to help you grow closer to God's promises. Discover truth that speaks to your heart. Visit intouch.org today.
Okay, our 5th takeaway as Phoenix visits Las Vegas. Jovana Nogic is someone you better know.
So true. Phoenix is like incredibly good at finding the diamonds in the rough.
They're so good at it. They're so good at it.
I'm blown away.
Yeah, for Phoenix to go to Vegas. Vegas is celebrating the 2025 season. They got their rings, they're champions. And then they lose by 33.
Ugh.
The biggest loss by a championship team in the season opener following.
Yeah, champion defending team. And for Phoenix to be the one, after what we said about Phoenix. In a finals rematch.
Yes, a finals rematch.
Where Phoenix got swept.
Phoenix had something to prove, of course.
Phoenix was pissed. AT was pissed coming into this. And they smacked them. And, AT led the way with 20 points, but Jovana Nogic is who we're going to talk about here. And in 21 minutes, she scored 19 points, had 4 assists, had 2 steals, 4 or 5 from 3. Like the shot was legit. Her activity was legit. Had never heard of her before that night. And man, was I immediately impressed. Like, I think she might be better than all the diamonds that they found last year. Who knows? I mean, it's a lot to say after one game, but even later on in the weekend, when she has an open 3, she shoots it and she becomes a hot hand. She feeds their success when they were down to Golden State. They push back because she was there to help them lead the way. Now, Ka's going to figure it out and AT is going to figure it out too, but just make sure that when you watch Phoenix, you're paying attention to Nogic because she's already legit. Our 6th takeaway, as Atlanta visits Minnesota,
it appears the Angel Reese trade may already be paying off.
Yeah. And I think we say that because the very end of the game, Angel had a pretty critical block, very good defense that sealed them the win.
Game sealing block.
Because this was a very tense game at the end.
Oh, yeah.
The beginning, not so much. The whole team, really, the whole dream team was very on the struggle bus at the beginning of this game.
For sure, yeah.
Including Angel. I mean, she could not make a layup at the beginning of this game. But at the end, when it mattered, she came through.
Yeah. I mean, just to reenact the play, I mean, Olivia Miles, who she's going to be great, no look pass to Amisa Hoff, who was on the development pool of the Minnesota Lynx. She was open. She should have made the layup. But because Angel was there to disrupt it, she got it done. Atlanta erased a 19-point deficit. They were down 52-33. And Leash, if you don't know, I love Alicia Gray. She's my favorite player in the entire league, and I'm not afraid to say that. She was ice cold, could not make a three, could not even hit her free throws. She's missing everything. But she woke up in the third quarter, and Atlanta as a team was able to get back into it and get themselves into a situation where Angel can prove, I am able to be such an important defender for this team. They showed a ton of grit.
Especially without Bree Jones right now.
Yes, right. Exactly. She's got huge
that's
shoes to
something
fill.
I was worried about.
Yeah. Yeah. And like she's going to be able to learn from Bree, and Bree's there on the bench, but Bree's not able to like play right now and teach her moves. So Angel's got to figure it out. But the fact that they were in Minnesota with how, ahead Minnesota got, and we're not going to talk specifically about Minnesota today, I don't think. I think they'll be okay. I think they'll prove that they'll be okay. Yeah. But Atlanta really showed me a lot of grit.
Yeah. No, if you want to talk about coaches, like this is an incredible coaching job to me. To pull the visiting team out of that big of a deficit in the Lynx home opener. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, Carl Smesko.
It was very impressive.
The mad scientist of basketball, they call him. Well, exciting stuff in Atlanta. Plenty to be excited for if you're a Dream fan. Our seventh observation, as Chicago visits the new-look Portland Fire. The fans of Portland are showing up.
Yeah, is Portland the new best home court advantage? Perhaps.
Could be. Could be.
If you'd said that to me any day before yesterday, I would have been like, what?
And what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, but Portland had 19,300 fans at their home opener.
Packed out.
Which is the record setting.
Well, it's not for a women's basketball game because that was in Philadelphia, but it's the record for a WNBA game.
It was the record attendance for a WNBA game, beating out every game that Golden State had last year when Golden State was beating all these records, when Golden State had the most attendance and the best home court advantage.
Yeah.
Well, now Portland is beating them in that. And you could hear it on the stream. Like they were super loud in Portland.
I had some eyes on the inside. Friend of the pod, Matthew, who's been on plenty of times. He's a Portland guy. He's a day one Portland Fire fan. He told me he was at the game. He said that, and I'm not afraid to say this. He said that you could tell that the crowd was full of a lot of casual basketball watchers. But when we talked about it, like, that is a good thing. Of course, yeah, it would be great if they were all hardcore basketball fans.
Well, yeah, but you've never had a women's team there. Well, actually,
you did. a short run team.
That's true. But you're right. People are interested who are not just major fans.
Right. And then they can become major fans. I mean, we saw what happened in Valhalla in Golden State. And why should I not expect to see that same energy in Portland if they're going to pack out 19,000 people in their season opener. They can only, like, this is so much a good sign.
Yeah.
Plain simple.
I mean, to me, when I compare it to the other new team this year, which was Toronto, they only had 8,200 fans.
And that's, that's an arena size. They also sold out.
Well, of course. But it's a huge variance in the size of the arenas.
Yeah.
Which gives Portland an advantage.
Yeah, and that's why you're seeing a lot of these teams going to larger arenas throughout the season. Like, they're going to play in higher capacity locales because the fan bases are huge. The fan bases were growing over the last however many years, and now they have the capacity to sell out these massive stadiums every single game. So this is a great sign for Portland. It's a great sign for all the other teams who I would expect in any scenario could sell out a stadium with 19,000 seats. But you're right.
Well, that's what I want to see. I just want clearly they can do it. So let's move these teams to bigger arenas and let them sell them out.
Let them do it. Let them do it. Our 8th takeaway, as Seattle visits Connecticut, the Connecticut Sun has pieces to compete.
For sure.
Legitimate pieces.
They are legitimately good at rebounding, at offensive rebounding for sure, which can make or break a game. I think you think, oh yeah, Brittany Griner's on this team, but the rest of the team is like a whole bunch of really young players / rookies who don't have a lot of experience, but they were incredible in both of their games at rebounding and giving themselves second chance points.
Opportunities, yeah.
So that is something I think really to be looking at in Connecticut because they have this thing they're really good at. Now, as the coach said, Layla, we need you. Once Layla Lacan comes back, then that gives them more scoring opportunities.
Yeah, right. They just need to establish, what do we have that's good? What are the things that we can, hang our hats on? Offensive rebounding in general, great. Anissa Morrow proving that she can be a legit scorer. She had 17 points, 16 rebounds in this game. Bring it back to rebounding. Haley Van Lith, who this team picked up after she was cut by Chicago, she was giving them quality minutes, contributing on, as a passer, as a cutter, as a shooter. So they've got things that they can start to work on. I know what we said about Connecticut. I kind of expect Connecticut to be a bottom 2 team, but the fact that they were in this game until very late against Seattle, who we were very complimentary on earlier here in this show, I think means that we're going to see a level of quality basketball all season from Connecticut, even if they don't win games. But you mentioned Layla Lacan. Coach Mezion literally texting her in the postgame saying, Layla, we need you. When Layla Lacan came over last season for Connecticut, she completely changed the trajectory of that team. They only won, 11 games or something last year, but Layla Lacan is a huge contributor, and she's a winning player. And they were one winning player away from beating Seattle and being 1-1 in the opening weekend. So they're not just the worst team in the league. And we're going to hear.
I didn't think they would be the worst team in the league.
No, we're going to hear all season. This is it. This is the sunset ride for Connecticut. Brendan Glasheen will remind us every single game.
This is my takeaway from this game is you will not forget that this is the last season in Connecticut, as you shouldn't.
Yeah.
But Brendan basically said it every other minute.
But if it's the last season in Connecticut, give it a ride.
Yeah.
Go crazy. Prove what you can do to all these young players.
Yeah.
Feeling uncertain by life's challenges? At intouch.org, you'll discover encouragement that lasts. With powerful sermons from In Touch Ministries' Dr. Charles Stanley, daily devotionals, and resources designed to strengthen your faith, you'll find hope and wisdom for every season of your life. Don't wait. Visit intouch.org today. and let God's Word inspire your journey. That's intouch.org.
Our ninth takeaway, as New York visits Washington in what was the first overtime game of the season, the league already has a foul issue.
Yeah, but I think they're intentionally doing that.
I don't like that. They shouldn't intentionally do it.
Well, this is what I'm hearing. This is what I'm seeing. Players are saying that they don't like the physicality of the league. They think the league is too physical. And Nafisa Collier had an interview with NPR where she said that a couple days ago. And, that was discussed last year. It's been discussed. People saying the league is so physical. And the refs need to do more to protect the players. That's been said. So I think what's happening now this whole weekend is that the officials are trying right off the bat to stop the most physical of plays in order to protect the players more. So that's why we're seeing 58 fouls in this game.
58 fouls.
That's
full stop.
Yeah.
Way too many.
That's too many.
Way too many.
I agree.
Yeah. So if physicality is the problem, we gotta figure out the balance, because this made rewatching this game a disaster. It's going to slow down so many games if we're calling a lot of ticky-tack fouls.
I will say there was 50 in the Seattle-Connecticut game.
Yeah, and it felt like it. Mm-hmm. And what that's going to lead to, and it did in the case of New York versus Washington, we saw multiple high-profile players fouling out. Jonquel Jones.
Which is absolutely what you do not want to see.
No, because that makes that could lead to amazing stories of backups coming in to fill in. But, you don't want to see the best players in the league fouling out.
No.
Unless they absolutely deserve it. Mm-hmm. But, Jonquel fouled out. Who else fouled out? We had 3 people foul out in this game.
Mm-hmm. Honshu fouled out. And Kassan Prosper fouled out. Stewie, Kiki, and Astier all had 5 fouls. It was just too much.
Yeah.
So I think that is why this is happening. Mm-hmm. I would expect, it happened every single game this weekend. There was so many fouls every single game. I would expect an adjustment in the next, as we move forward.
Okay. I hope so.
If not, I will be upset.
Yeah.
But right, you need to find some sort of balance of making the players feel more safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And having 60 fouls in a game.
Mm-hmm. And look, the league brought in 5 new referees this season. There's going to be growing pains, as always. And nobody likes ref discourse. I don't like ref discourse. We have to point out that this...
But I think it's like a thing that is happening, as they are saying.
An intentional...
Yes.
We're going to prove a point. And it's not always going to be like this, but in the opening weekend, pay attention because... Be careful?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Because they're kind of asking. Literally, the players are like, it's too physical. Help us, refs.
Man, I really hope this isn't the trajectory. I can do 30 odd fouls, sure, justified fouls, but I don't love watching a lot of free throws.
Okay. Well, we will see.
We'll see.
But that's happening. It's a thing that's happening.
It is a thing that is happening. Our 10th takeaway, as Las Vegas visits the Los Angeles Sparks, Cameron Brink only played 8 minutes in a 27-point loss for the Sparks.
Yeah. And in the 8 minutes, she had 3 turnovers and 3 fouls. So this is something that we have known about Cameron Brink. She gets in a lot of foul trouble.
Yes.
But I would say we've seen her develop a lot over last season into unrivaled. Mm-hmm. So I would expect this growth to continue, but apparently she is not confident enough to be in the starting lineup, as it seems like the coach is saying.
I'll read the quote. Coach Roberts, after the game, "We need Cam to produce. She's got to get out on the floor with some confidence and do what she's capable of doing." Mm-hmm. So not an outright denial by Coach Roberts to say that, like, Cam doesn't have it, but clearly is pointing out that there might be a confidence issue for Cam.
Which I wouldn't have said is true, but I'll believe her. I think they, in general, just have a starting roster problem. So I would just hate Cam to be kicked to the bench and kicked to so few minutes in some disguised way that she's not confident. But really, you just have so many bigs on your team still.
But I don't think that's the case. I don't think they have so many bigs.
Okay.
I felt like Cameron Brink should be starting. I think you could start her. I think you could play Nneka at the 3. You could play Cam at the 4. You could play De'Erica at the 5. You could do that. They have different plans. They started Ray Burrell. Good. They obviously started Kelsey Plum. Good.
Well, I don't think Ray Burrell was good.
No, but I'm not saying she was good.
Okay.
I'm saying she was not actually. In fact, she was not good at all. And
Well,
she's
yeah.
a player that I am quite high on. I've already voiced that. Mm-hmm. I don't want to overreact to a bad loss for the Sparks in game 1 as they're playing the championship aces who got their butts handed to them in game 1. And we're like, clearly we're not going to do that. We're going to remind the world that we're not last year's team until, before we get to the playoffs, when I expect them to go on another run. Mm-hmm. But it's simply worth noting that a second overall pick from 3 years ago, only playing 8 minutes, and a player that is as big in the spotlight as Cameron Brink is, to only get 8 minutes is something that I want to monitor, and hopefully is something that coaching staff can figure out how to get her the right amount of minutes.
Yeah. And I mean, clearly she has to not be fouling in the minutes that she's playing.
Yeah,
then she can be
right.
playing more minutes.
Exactly.
But I do think I love having Nneka on this team for Cam, because now Cam finally does have someone, a very good vet that can take her under her wing. She hadn't really had that. De'Erica's not the same kind of player as Cam.
No.
So,
and Azure is not like the vet type quite yet.
But I think Nneka hasn't missed a beat. Nneka was great back in LA. So I'm hoping that the Nneka Cam relationship can help her get more confident.
Yeah. I hope they get right in game 2 and we see, the Sparks team that we're expecting to see come out and get a win.
It was a very tough opener to play Vegas. That's just would be tough for anyone.
Right. Agreed. And that brings us to our final takeaway, our 11th takeaway, as Phoenix visits Golden State. Gabby Williams. I'll say it. I believe Gabby Williams has all WNBA upside because she put on a show in Valhalla.
I'm with you. I was thrilled watching Gabby. Coming into this, I really did not expect Gabby to be a 3-point shooter. She hasn't been that in her career. She was 4 for 9, which is very decent.
Yeah.
Especially when the whole rest of the team is 3-point shooters, and she really wouldn't need to be that. Having her be able to do that and spacing the floor even more, it's incredible that she can do that on this team. The way she was passing the ball to and getting them from Kayla Thornton, I thought was great. Watching the two of them play off of each other was so fun. They were screaming with each other, all happy.
Yeah.
So I love that duo.
She's immediately well regarded in the locker room. Not that that's surprising to me, with given the whole French connection even, but they already love her. Just for context, she's a career 2.5 threes attempted per game, and she shot 9 in this one.
Yep.
And she made 4, and they looked good. That's clearly something that she worked on in the offseason. This is a very clear, like,
Or it's like this coach giving her the green light, being like, go ahead.
it could be.
This is what we do, is we shoot an insane amount of threes and we're good at it. So go for it.
That's a very good point. And I will say, Veronica Burton set her up on a lot of clean looks. Veronica Burton, 12 assists, 0 turnovers. An amazing game by Veronica Burton. I would say the same things that I'm saying about Gabby, about Veronica Burton. I think she is going to have an amazing year in Golden State. And Golden State's already 2-0. They are, putting on a show. And I think they have things that they're still trying to figure out. Even today, they made a move for Ashton Prechtel. They picked her up. They're trying to find a big that can replace Rupert. And in this game,
I'm hearing Emma Mieseman. I don't know.
we have heard Emma Mieseman rumors. In this game, Leticia Amihir, also amazing. She was great. And that is the type of player that they're trying to find, because I do think there's still legitimate concern when they go up against bigger lineups like a New York.
Yep.
That they may struggle at times. But Gabby Williams being the defender that we know, the attacker that we know, and now the shooter, like, I think she has the complete package. And I can see a season materializing for Gabby Williams that was similar to what Alicia Gray had last year. Be good on both ends of the ball and be on a winning team. And you could be right up there in the conversation for one of the best players this season.
For sure. So those are our takeaways.
Yeah.
I do want to ask you, John, what was your favorite game of the weekend?
What was my favorite game of the weekend? It's not really a shocker, but I do think it was that Indy Dallas game. And we were busy during that game, so we were watching it on my phone without the volume. So we watched the whole thing on my phone without the volume. But I just like to see 200-point scorers in a game, in a WNBA game. That's awesome. I want to see that as often as I can. I want to see high power offenses. So that's what I loved.
For sure.
How about yourself?
I think this Golden State one was my favorite.
This was a good one.
It was a great way to end the weekend.
I agree. I almost said the same thing. And what was nice was, even though we mentioned this early, even though Phoenix went down, Phoenix did roar back in this game.
Oh yeah. It was looking like it wasn't going to be close, but it ended up like being a very competitive game.
But yeah, Golden State, they've got a lot to prove. They've got a difficult schedule going forward, but I think they have that infrastructure. I've got no reason to doubt them after how they open this weekend. And all the takeaways in the bag: great opening weekend of basketball, great setup for the season, every team trying hard. That's great. The fans showing out. That's great. It's everything you want to see.
Absolutely.
Well, I think that'll do it for today's show. If you have any takeaways that you would like to share, please go ahead and do so. Send us an email, attackthebaseline@gmail.com. Send us a message on Bluesky, Instagram, TikTok to let us know how you're feeling about opening weekend and the games to come. Leave us a 5-star rating review and let us know your favorite takeaway from what you saw opening weekend. Subscribe to the YouTube, and of course, tell your friends and family so that they are aware of the exciting WNBA action taking place basically every single night. I was looking ahead at the schedule. We have an off day as we're recording this, but there's basically a W game almost every single day, the entire season. And we got 15 teams. We got 44 games to play for each of them. So there's going to be a lot. And we're going to get into each, we're going to be hyper-focused on each team like we normally are. We might change our formatting a little bit, but you'll find out in the weeks to come. But I'm just so happy that we're back here and we got regular season basketball to pay attention to. But again, that'll do it for this episode of Attack the Baseline. Kristen, I'm staring at the baseline, and as always, what are we going to do?
Attack it.
Attack the Baseline. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll be back soon to talk about more WNBA action.
you trying to get weight loss support through telehealth, but it feels overwhelming and rushed? Check out OrderlyMeds.com now. OrderlyMeds.com was built to be different. Here, you connect with real doctors who take the time to understand your goals, review your eligibility, and guide you through a plan that's right for you. Orderly Meds provides access to proven GLP-1 medications like semaglutide and tirzepatide, including both name brand options and personalized compound versions when appropriate. So you have choices backed by clinical oversight, not guesswork. It's a simpler, more supportive telehealth experience designed around people who want clarity, care, and confidence in their weight loss journey. And your medication is delivered directly to your home in discreet packaging, so your experience stays private from start to finish. Do your research, ask the right questions, then visit orderlymeds.com/podcast for an exclusive offer. Again, that's orderlymeds.com/podcast. Individual results may vary, not medical advice. Eligibility required. See site for details.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.